Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here for KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Whitney Ward. Well, tornadoes do not happen very often here in the inland Northwest, but today we are following up on not one, but two tornadoes that actually touched down here on Friday. Those tornadoes were in Spokane Valley and in Airway Heights. And KREM 2's Janelle Finch is joining us now live just to talk us through kind of what these communities have been seeing now in the aftermath. Janelle?
Whitney, while the storm may be over, the damage still clearly remains. Take a look at this house behind me. It was actually split in two by a fallen tree. This is the kind of damage Spokane's National Weather Service representatives are surveying after Friday night's tornadoes here in the valley and out near the airport. Damage around our region ranged from broken windows, blocked roads, and a house being split in two. In Spokane Valley off of 4th Avenue, mobile homeowners are still picking up their belongings that were thrown around during the storm. KREM 2 spoke with neighbors on Saturday to get their immediate reaction to the extreme winds and rain. One person says even though things have calmed down now, she still fears for the potential that something like this could happen again.
I was terrified, what if it comes back, because we didn't expect it. That was the least of our worries, and then it happened. We didn't get no warning, no nothing, it just happened.
Strong winds in this area also caused one of the trailers to flip onto another trailer. Spokane Valley fire officials say no one was injured. In Airway Heights, trees came down on and around Greenwood Road. Today, I went down to that area to find a National Weather Service representative assessing final damages. The information collected will be used to provide more finite details on the tornadoes. I also spoke with one of the residents who lives in this home, and she told me her and the homeowner were actually inside the house when the tree came crashing down. While they were unharmed, she says the homeowner fears he may not be able to return to the home he's owned for over 30 years. Live in Spokane Valley, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
All right, Janelle, thank you very much. And now we have, of course, our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo, here just to talk a little bit more about the tornadoes that we saw this weekend. Obviously, we know that that is not something that we see very often here, but it's not like it's never happens, right?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, yes, it's been quite a few years since we've seen anything here. State of Washington in general, about 1 to 2 tornadoes every year. Now, most of those are over on the west side. And the reason is when you have one of those big landfalling storms, you get a difference in friction between, say, the ground or actual land and the sea surface. So as that storm moves in, they each play a different role, and that can cause some kind of spin up rotation or a more land spout type tornado. Here in Spokane County, it's been since 2016 since we've seen anything like this. We don't have any EF ratings yet on these storms, but there are quite a few things that tell me that they are going to be likely EF 0. And the reason is you saw those trees toppled over. Not until you get to, say, EF 1 do you get trees snapping and more widespread damage. So we'll get an official update likely tonight or tomorrow on those. But those 2 tornadoes on Friday between 7 and 7:30 p.m. Now, coming up after my main weather, we'll take a deeper dive into the wild weather we saw this past weekend and talk a little bit more about tornadoes in general and in Washington state. But first, let's talk what's going on with today. Believe it or not, it is another active day of weather. Here in town, well, it's a bit chilly, 50 degrees. And well, if you step outside, it doesn't really feel like 50. It feels quite a bit cooler in some of that wind and that cloud cover. 46 in Coeur d'Alene and 43 in Sandpoint, near 60 in Moses Lake and Wenatchee. And yes, we do have a couple of storms popping up, a little bit of lightning on the radar earlier. Now it's winding down, but look what you got going on off to the north. That is snow. We have reports of about 2 inches of snow on Highway 20 just off to the east of Colville. So if you're heading there, just know it's going to be the case. Dries out later on tonight, and it looks like we stay mostly dry through Tuesday as well. But that means a chilly morning. Temperatures fall into the 30s, and we're talking frost and freeze warnings for tonight. I'll walk you through those in just a bit.
This has been some kind of spring, Jeremy. Thank you very much. Well, Alaska Airlines pilots started voting on a strike today and will continue to vote through May 25th. Now, right now, contract negotiations between Alaska and pilots are at an impasse. Our sister station in Seattle has more on that vote now.
pilots have from today to May 25th to cast their ballot for this strike authorization. Now, keep in mind, even if this vote does pass, pilots still need to get permission from the National Mediation Board. That's the independent federal agency that handles labor relations for the country's railroad and airline industries. Now, they will determine if contract negotiations have failed. It includes several cooling off periods, among other criteria. Now, Alaska Airlines and its pilots have been in negotiations for several years, mutually pausing during COVID. The Airline Pilots Association representing them says the company has not met demands for better pay and scheduling. Now, last month, Alaska pilots conducted the largest picket in Airline Pilots Association history. Alaska Airlines did say in a statement to me this morning they're confident they can get a deal through mediation and that it's not the negotiations that are causing the cancellations we've seen recently, but a delay in getting pilots back up and trained after Omicron as well as winter storms. They also say they've been successful in rebooking many of their guests, although it's not clear how many guests have been impacted because of these staffing shortages and cancellations.
Also starting today, the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife will be temporarily closing public access at Liberty Lake. It's going to stay closed through Thursday, May 17th. That time will be used to finish an improvement project to include repainting the lower parking lot as well as installation of a boarding float. So the area is going to be back open as soon as that work is completed. Just make sure you're aware. Avian flu has now reached eastern Washington. The Department of Agriculture has confirmed a case in Spokane County. Officials say it was detected in a backyard flock made up of geese, chickens, ducks, and guinea fowl. The state health department says the risk of avian flu spreading to humans, though, is extremely low. New numbers show more people are experiencing homelessness in Spokane County. The newest point-in-time count showed nearly 1,800 people are currently experiencing homelessness. Almost half of them are unsheltered. The popular El Katif Shrine Circus helped raise $70,000 in proceeds to now be donated to Spokane's Shriners Children's Hospital. That donation will go to the hospital's sports, health, and medicine program.
They helped her out. We were able to come here for not only appointments, but also physical therapy. And for us personally, since she goes to school 2 blocks away at Lewis and Clark, it was really convenient.
Now, historically, these funds raised support from the El Katif temple operations. Well, this week is Boomtown Week here on KREM 2 News, and our Boomtown coverage tracks the growth we're seeing here in the inland Northwest and some of the growing pains, too. Up next, we're traveling to one city that has nearly doubled its size in less than 10 years.